On New Year's Eve of 2008, a man hurriedly enters a party just as the countdown begins. He frantically searches for someone, and it's only after the countdown that he finds a woman with dark brown hair wearing a floral dress. He grabs the woman by the shoulder, turns her around, and kisses her passionately on the lips. Sadly for him, when he opens his eyes, he notices that the woman he kissed is not the one he was looking for. The man's name's Dante. He's a 38-year-old man whose purpose in life is to have a good career. He's a workaholic and barely has time to do anything else besides work. He's engaged to a woman that he loves, but things haven't been great. Dante knows he is in trouble when he arrives late at the party and doesn't find his fiancée immediately. Then, he accidentally kisses another woman who is wearing the same dress as her fiancé. The two women look alike, not that Dante's fiancée cares when she sees them kissing. Dante tries to explain to the woman and his fiancé that he was confused because of their dresses. For his fiancé, that is the last straw in their relationship. She slaps him and leaves. Dante, feeling lost and confused, offers to buy the stranger he kissed a drink, but she refuses. It's an open bar party. 2 years go by. It's Dante's birthday and his now girlfriend organizes a surprise for him. Her name's Alice. She's the same woman he accidentally kissed on 2008 New Year's Eve. Alice is a pretty woman with brown hair and gray eyes. She's quirky and loves colorful things. While Dante is still asleep, she dresses up in a silly dress to wake him up. When Dante opens his eyes, she's dancing in a way that makes him laugh. Dante loves Alice. She's the light to his life, the fun side of the relationship. He remains a workaholic, but Alice is anything but. They have recently moved in together to a cute house with a big backyard. It's a big step in their relationship and they are excited about it. They have lots of fun together, mainly through Alice's effort. Still, despite Dante working a lot, Alice loves him. After her surprise wake-up call, and before he leaves for work, Alice asks him to be at home on time because she wants to have dinner with him to celebrate. She's planning a surprise party for him. That's why she's so insistent that he arrives on time for a change. Dante isn't suspicious. He's so engrossed in his chores and work that he doesn't even think about a party. After work, he has to take some things to his father's house. Then he has to grab a door for their new house. Meanwhile, Alice has a group of friends and relatives waiting for Dante to arrive. Hours later, Dante arrives at his house and gets his surprise party. He isn't very excited because he still has so much on his mind that he can't relax. His brother tells him he needs to take it easy, otherwise, he won't be alive for long. Dante agrees, but he wants to work as much as he can while still young to have free time in the future. The rest of the party goes well. Alice gives Dante a cute illustration representing him as a rabbit who is constantly worried about time. Dante can hear the clock ticking as they sing happy birthday to him, anxious about the time he's wasting. After the party, Alice has another surprise for Dante. His night ends up on a happy note, and he knows that no matter what happens, at least he has Alice. The following day, Dante wakes up alone in bed. Alice is in the bathroom throwing up, which Dante thinks is weird. When he goes to the living room, he's surprised to see the house is organized. He asks Alice if she woke up in the middle of the night to clean everything up. She is confused by his question. As he walks around his house, he notices a new table. He asks Alice again about the new table and she finally shows up. She looks tired and sick. Alice tells him that she doesn't feel like going out that evening to celebrate his birthday. When Dante turns to look at her, he sees something that shakes him to his core. Alice has a pregnant belly. At first, Dante thinks she's pranking him pretending to be pregnant. But she isn't. It's their first baby. As Dante freaks out about it, he finds out that a year has gone by since his last birthday. He starts having a panic attack and Alice gets worried. Dante's sure it's all in his mind. He must be dreaming, or rather, having a nightmare. He goes to sleep again and when he wakes up, he thinks only a few hours have gone by. As he's leaving the bedroom, he bumps into Alice. He worriedly asks about her belly, but she's flat again. Dante starts laughing in relief, thinking that he woke up from the nightmare, and things are right again. He mentions that the dreamt Alice was pregnant and she laughs with him, saying that she won't get pregnant again. Dante gets nervous again and wonders what she's talking about when they hear a baby crying. Dante goes to check it out and finds a baby in a pink bassinet. He finds out it's his birthday again, and that now he has a baby girl. He has no idea what's going on. Dante's dazed and confused. He asks what their baby's name is and finds out it's Galadriel. He's shocked to learn that Alice named their daughter after a movie character she loves, but Alice says that he agreed with it. He found it a beautiful name for a baby. Dante doesn't know what to do. He has no idea whether he has a memory condition or if it's only a bad dream. He goes to a doctor to see if he's sick, but he's perfectly healthy. His doctor tells him that his issue may be stress and that he should take it easy for some time. Enjoy Alice and their daughter. It's not the solution he wanted, but he agrees to do as the doctor says. At home, Alice is having trouble concentrating because Galadriel doesn't stop crying. Dante isn't very present in their daughter's life, which makes Alice work 3 times harder. She feels as if she can't count on him and is raising their daughter alone. Dante hasn't changed much from the beginning of their relationship. He's still a workaholic, with the difference that now he has a baby. She pleads to Dante to take care of Galadriel, and he does. He has no idea what to do to make her stop crying. He has no experience with babies in general. While taking care of her, he takes a nap and wakes up scared. He's afraid that he's going to sleep and another year will be gone. He tries to wake up by washing his face, repeating to himself that he can't sleep again. When he looks in the mirror, though, he's wearing different clothes and a mustache. He quickly goes after Alice, and she hands him the traditional birthday pancake she makes for him every year. Alice doesn't look very comfortable with Dante anymore. They used to be close and loving, but she keeps her distance from him. He doesn't notice. Dante tells her that something is wrong with him, and Alice disagrees. She says there are multiple things wrong with him. Dante goes to check on his daughter, whose name he still can't remember, and finds her already walking. He happily points out that she can walk, and when she calls him Papa, he thinks it's her first word. Alice explains that it isn't. It's her 8th word. Dante's shocked that he wasn't in his daughter's top 5. But Alice says that he wasn't around much for her to learn. Dante starts worrying about the path he took in life. He calls his brother and meets him in a park. While waiting for him to arrive, he automatically lights a cigarette, only to realize that he's smoking. He has never smoked before. When Valerio, his brother, arrives, he confides in him about his belief that he traveled through time. Valerio explains that the perception he has of time passing by is that he never takes time off. He's always busy and working, which causes him more problems than not. His marriage isn't the same anymore. Dante had no idea. Valerio tells him that he complained about his relationship with Alice and that he wanted to get counseling. He's scared that the time is going to fly by again and he won't have the opportunity to fix his issues with Alice. Valerio suggests he takes some time off again. But Dante figures out that the best solution is to quit his job. He hurries to his workplace and goes straight to talk to his boss. Just as he enters the boss office, his clothes change and the boss disappears. Dante learns that another year went by and he is the new director. His new position has great benefits not only for him but for his whole family. He thinks that may be the reason why he changed his mind about quitting. Still, he isn't happy about his new job. Not only that, but it's his birthday again. Instead of the traditional pancakes that Alice always made, he celebrates with a huge birthday cake that his employees bought. On his way home in his new fancy car, he receives a call from Alice. She tells him he's late for their therapy, something he didn't know they were doing. Dante is confused as to why they need therapy in the first place. For him, their relationship is still great, just like it was in the beginning. It isn't, though. Alice expresses her frustration with Dante's workaholic tendencies, pointing out that he also neglects their daughter. In response, Dante angrily retorts that the sole reason he dedicates himself to such long hours is to enable Alice to pursue her dreams. Knowing that he doesn't take her job seriously hurts Alice. Dante used to be supportive and enjoy her drawings. Now he never asks about it anymore. She feels as if their relationship is at its end. There's not much they can do to salvage it, since she knows Dante will keep working. Dante is still confused about the constant time changes and he has no idea what to do. They go their separate ways and Dante goes home. His house is filled with toys and baby things. Dante straight to the fridge to grab a beer and sees the pictures of his family. Seeing him and Alice with their baby daughter makes him cry. He doesn't know how they got to that point. Despite all he was able to achieve working, he feels like a failure. Another year goes by and Dante now resides alone. His house doesn't have any toys anymore. It's cold and empty, filled with beer bottles and takeout boxes. Dante doesn't look good either. His looks represent the way he's feeling inside, sad and broken. He calls Alice to find out where she is and learns that they are separated. He begs her to come see him and she says that she is. Before she arrives, he receives a call from his father's caretaker saying that he's on the roof, threatening to jump. Dante's father has Alzheimer's and he constantly forgets things or goes back to the past. Dante doesn't have a lot of patience with him. His dad was never a good father. He cheated on Dante's mother and left them for another woman for months. What Dante doesn't realize is that he's going on the same path as his father. In his quest for success, he lost sight of what truly matters in the end. He has everything now, but he is alone. Or at least that's what he thought. When he goes back home, someone is cooking. At first, he thinks it's Alice, but it's Dante's co-worker, a woman named Francesca. She's wearing only a bathrobe and she acts as if she's familiar with the house. Dante is baffled that the woman is there, and he freaks out when he remembers that Alice is on her way. Francesca has no idea of his feelings. She even tries to make the traditional pancakes that Alice used to, but hers is terrible. Dante tries to understand how he got into a relationship with Francesca, and she tells him they have been together for 6 months. Dante is shocked. Alice arrives and he quickly tells Francesca to hide so he can talk to her. Alice looks nervous, but she's happy Dante called. She misses him and she's tired of being away from him. Things are also looking good for her professional life because a gallery wants to exhibit her paintings. Dante is happy for her and confesses that he loves her. They kiss and it's like all those years ago, at the beginning of their relationship, until Alice sees Francesca's shoes in a corner and finds out that she's there. She's upset and heartbroken that Dante would play with her like that and leaves. Francesca is also mad and humiliated. Dante makes her promise to never go out with him again, no matter what. He's afraid that another year will go by and his life will change for the worse again. When he turns around, though, Francesca is there with a birthday hat and a big smile on her face. Dante asks what she's doing there and finds out that they have been together for a year and a half. Their relationship isn't good either, and Francesca tells him that she regrets leaving her husband for him. Dante is once again in a situation he has no control over. There are a bunch of strange people in his house. The only one he knows is Valerio. He freaks out and kicks everyone out. Then, he talks to Valerio about his life. He complains about not having time to do anything again. But he isn't the only one with a bad life. Valerio also has a life he regrets having. They are two bitter men whose life didn't end up in the way they wanted to. Dante wanted to work hard so when he was 50, he would have time to do fun things. The problem is that he waited too long to enjoy his life, and now things got out of control. He lost his wife, he barely remembers his daughter's name, and he has no friends. He's a lonely man with money and a dream job. As he usually does when he comes back, he goes looking for Alice. She's living in a big house with their daughter. Alice looks different, more serious, and more introspective. Dante wants to talk to her, and she immediately gets defensive. He admits his desire to get back together with her, emphasizing that his love for her remains. It's been a long time, though, and Alice has grown weary of his inconsistent behavior. Every year on his birthday, he approaches her and expresses his emotions, but throughout the rest of the year, he acts as if she doesn't exist. She has reached a point where she can no longer accept his feelings. In the past, she believed he was her soulmate, someone she couldn't imagine living without. After his failings and betrayals, she discovered her ability to be independent. She doesn't need him anymore. Hearing that breaks Dante's heart. Not that he blames her, because he knows that he became a terrible man, selfish and self-centered. He broke Alice's heart first, and she has the right to move on. He isn't ready to let go of her, though. For him, it's only been a few hours since his nightmare began, and Alice is the love of his life. He tries talking to her again, knocking on her door when a strange man opens the door. He's a silver fox, fit and handsome. Alice appears behind him, looking at the man as if he hung the moon. Dante is shocked. His daughter appears and she's not a baby anymore. Before he can find out more about the strange man dating Alice, Galadriel asks Dante to take her to the park. There, he gets even more depressed because he knows nothing about his daughter. He asks what she wants him to do to become a better father, and she requests more time. The time that he never has because he's always working. When they go back home, Alice's boyfriend, Omar, tells Dante that he and Alice are thinking about moving in together. Dante says no, that one day they will be together again. But Omar thinks he's delusional. He gives Dante sound advice about stopping living in the past or thinking too much about the future. He has to stay in the present. Another year goes by, and he meets Valerio. More things happened in his life that he has no idea about. First, when he mentions Omar and how he's not right for Alice, Valerio's confused. He tells him that just the other day Dante said that Omar was good for her and Galadriel. Not only that, but Valerio also has cancer and he's undergoing treatment. Dante gets worried about his best friend, especially because he doesn't know what's going to happen on the next time jump. He invites Valerio to go on a roller coaster ride he promised he would go years back. Valerio tells him that he can't, but that he's going to see him the next day. Dante doesn't know if he's going to see him, so he makes Valerio promise he's going to be there. Then, he hugs him. Dante goes to Alice's exhibition by himself and it's depressing. Many of her paintings are of their time together. There's even a portrait of him made with timestamps called All the Times I've Waited for You. It breaks Dante's heart to see what he did with the woman he loved. He starts recollecting their moments together and how happy he was with her. Feeling bad, he calls Alice to tell her that he thinks it's a good idea for her to move in with Omar, but she already does. Another milestone he missed because he wasn't there. Before another time jump happens, Dante visits his father. His condition is worse and he barely remembers Dante. He confesses to his father that the only reason he worked so much was because he wanted his family to have a good life, one they would enjoy. Growing up with an absent father was hard for Dante and his mother. He wanted to do better for his family. He ended up doing the same. He admits he is selfish. Everything he did for himself. Now, he's alone. When another year goes by, Dante finds out that his dad has passed away. There's nothing left of him except a few boxes and memories. The grief takes him by surprise and he holds back tears. He can't stop thinking that one day he'll be just like his father. He leaves the nursing home and hurriedly calls Valerio. When his friend takes a long time to answer, he thinks the worst happened. Fortunately, Valerio is alive and he was waiting for him outside the nursing home. Dante hugs Valerio as if he hadn't seen him for years. He tells Valerio he doesn't want to go home. He wants to go on that roller coaster ride they promised going years back. They have a lot of fun. Dante doesn't think about anything except the ride and ends up passing out. When the ride is over, he finds out there are a bunch of calls from the office. He asks Valerio to borrow his car, kisses him, and leaves. He calls Alice and asks to meet her in Galadriel. Alice is already used to Dante's weirdness during his birthdays, so she accepts. Dante goes to his job, where an important meeting is happening, and tells everyone that he's going on vacation. He doesn't care about any pending projects, he only wants to have some time for himself and his family. Before he leaves, he apologizes to Francesca, but she has already moved on. When he finally meets Alice and Galadriel, he has a dog with him. The dog is for Galadriel, much to Alice's surprise. He asks Alice to stay with them, doing nothing the whole day. Alice is surprised because Dante always needs to be doing something, but he disagrees. They spend the whole day together. Dante plays with Galadriel and Alice. It was the best day he had in a long time. Alice agrees. Despite being in a relationship with Omar, a part of her still has feelings for Dante. Seeing him acting so nice reminds her of the beginning of their relationship, and it gives her butterflies. Dante asks her to stay with them that day. He's sure that Omar isn't jealous of him, but Alice tells him that he is. Dante reads a bedtime story to Galadriel and finds out it's a story that Alice drew for her. The story talks about time and how things change, except for one: love. Galadriel wonders if her father will stay with her, and he replies that he'll never leave her. When he wakes up the next day and the bed is empty, he gets sad. He thinks there was another time jump and things will be terrible again. It's a sad thought. He slowly walks to the living room, expecting someone random there, but there isn't. Galadriel and Alice are still there, and they are making pancakes. He dazedly asks what they are doing there, and Alice replies that they want to tidy everything up before they leave. It was also Alice's idea to make the pancakes to celebrate his birthday, though a day later. Dante is shocked that there wasn't another time jump. Sadly for him, the time he lost doesn't go back either. He tells Alice that this whole time, he felt as if he didn't do anything. He barely remembers the days that went by, but he wants to change. Alice isn't convinced. After all, it's not the first time he tells her that. She's still hurt by the things he did to her while they were married. He knows it too. What she doesn't know is that there are two Dantes in the story. The Dante that fell in love with her, that wanted to do everything for his family, and the Dante he became. He wants to go back to the way he was before, or at least get better. He promises Alice things are going to be different and there's still time for him to change. She doesn't agree or disagree with him. She's there and she's willing to see where he goes. It's more than Dante can ask of her. In the end, things don't go back to the way they were before. Time went by, people changed, and some passed away. Dante finally realized that he needed to stop living in the future or the past. To move on with his life, he needed to focus on the present.